I'm an Anne Hathaway worshiper, and if she's about to appear on the big screen, count me in to be there in the theaters. Last night, the goddess Aura farmed in the trailer for David Robert Mitchell's upcoming sci-fi thriller, The End of Oak Street. And oh boy, this movie is going to be a big budget suburban survival story in the face of prehistoric creatures. So without further delay, let's check out 8 things we got from the official trailer. End of Oak Street will be sprawling with dinosaurs. The It Follows famed director is ready to give us a taste of the dinos taking over a quiet suburban family's life. And we already glimpsed the creature in the movie's first teaser trailer released at the end of March. The one that came out yesterday confirmed that there will be multiple dinosaurs wreaking havoc on Oak Street. And from what it appeared, we have a pterodactyl as well as a Tyrannosaurus Rex terrorizing the Platt family. It might also be a Stegosaurus given the spikes on the end of its tail, but the heavy armor running along its back makes it look more like an Ankylosauride, or more specifically, Spicamelus. But hey, I'm no Ross Geller, so Paleo Nerd, do drop your thoughts in the comments below. Now, all of this feels a lot like Jurassic Park, right? And Mitchell himself agreed that he's taken inspiration from Spielberg's iconic movie. As he told Entertainment Weekly, just like anybody, the first Jurassic Park movie I absolutely love. But for me, my language of dinosaur movies goes back much further. Mitchell explains, I'd be lying if I said that it isn't a movie that I absolutely love, because I do. But I wanted to do something different. Coming to the different part, End of Oak Street is gearing up to be an action thriller, with the dinosaurs running on the loose and a whole lot of family tensions and dynamics playing in the middle of it. Mitchell said how the story is essentially rooted in a simple household context, because the very idea of it came to him in what he describes as, a few years ago I was walking through our neighborhood in Michigan, just walking down the street, and I was passing by this garage with a chain link fence and garbage cans, and I was struck by the image of, it'd be really interesting if there was a dinosaur right there. Yeah, the man literally thought, why not create a nightmare for people and their kids and let them deal with a few overgrown lizards? The Platt family has been shifted to some place or dimension. Anne Hathaway literally states in the trailer that their house, the entire street, and the neighborhood has been shifted, and it's pretty evident from the official logline, which says, after a mysterious cosmic event rips Oak Street from suburbia and transports their neighborhood to someplace unknown, the Platt family soon discovers that their very survival depends on them sticking together as they navigate their now unrecognizable surroundings. That means the dinos are just part of a larger mystery. That's not them invading the Platt's home. Maybe that family's been transported to some dimension where these prehistoric monsters still exist and the concept of time and space is warped. I mean, we did see something launching in the backyard, the curtains flowing and the dog barking at an unseen force. Even when they tried to escape, the road ended abruptly in a gorge, more like a sinkhole surrounded by woodlands. And there was also a bright shining ball-like thing that appeared inside the Platt's house, suggesting some sort of supernatural or alien teleportation. The entire area has been just picked and placed in a different world overnight. The dog might be playing an important role. Honestly, I hate when dogs show up in horror movies or these kinds of mystical survival thrillers because I know they're going to end up dead by the end. However, the Platt family's dog appeared multiple times in the trailer, barking to announce the arrival of something sinister, and has also been shown being caressed, which makes me think that this one might just make it to the end. A particularly interesting detail is that the dog is initially shown tied to a stake as an ominous glow approaches, but later appears to be wandering around with its collar still attached. Unless one of the dinosaurs suddenly develops a soft spot for pets, it looks like the dog manages to escape on its own. At this point, I'm cautiously optimistic that the filmmakers aren't just setting us up for inevitable heartbreak. Still, after years of watching horror and survival movies, I'm not ready to celebrate this good boy's chances just yet. Also, there's a cat. Please just let the animals survive this, dear God. Ewan McGregor running with a baseball bat is a well thought out detail. This bright glow, which wakes up the Platt's son Brian, we see him covered in a Superman blanket, a couple of sports trophies behind him, and the baseball hints that he specifically seems to be really into baseball. And when Ewan's character Greg runs around the street warning neighbors with a baseball bat in his hand, it actually makes sense and proves what a genius filmmaker Mitchell is. And as far as the Superman blanket is concerned, it might be just another nod to the fact that something alien has landed in Oak Street, along with the Platt family. The difference being, unlike Kal-El, the beautiful blue-eyed boy, we'll have an angry prehistoric creature on the hunt. The End of Oak Street is likely to be a slow burn thriller. After Brian is awakened by the strange light and the family dog starts barking at whatever's outside, the next morning sees the family casually sitting down for breakfast as if nothing happened the night before. When he brings up what he saw, the poor boy himself doesn't seem to be entirely convinced by it. suggesting that maybe he was just seeing things, or perhaps even dreamed the whole encounter. Meanwhile, Greg brushes it off as a joke, suggesting it was probably a UFO or maybe even aliens. But what I actually like the most about this scene is how normal everything feels. Despite whatever happened the previous night, nobody's immediately freaking out or running around trying to figure out what's wrong. And that's something new. In a lot of movies like this, the characters usually stumble across a major clue right away that tells them something is seriously off. Here, though, it looks like David Robert Mitchell is taking a much slower approach and left something as routine as breakfast completely unaffected. It's only later in the trailer when Anne Hathaway's character Denise realizes there's no running water that they begin to understand that something is genuinely messed up. Maybe there will be multiple flashes of light used to transport them. Audrey, the family's daughter, also dismissed her brother's claims pretty quickly at breakfast. However, the very next scene in the trailer shows her witnessing a similar flash of bright light and gushing winds. That immediately raises a few questions. Are there multiple flashes of light occurring throughout the movie? And will the transportation process be triggered more than once? At first, I thought the family was transported during the same event that Brian witnessed the night before. But Audrey's encounter makes it seem like there's a lot more going on. Either we're looking at a completely separate incident, or the mechanics behind this strange phenomenon are way more complicated than the trailer's letting on. A natural disaster might fall upon the townspeople. The next shot shows the family, except Greg, climbing onto the roof, where they discover that half the street has suddenly been engulfed in flames. Honestly, what on earth is going on here? This is the point where my theories start going all over the place. Maybe some kind of natural disaster is unfolding at the same time as the families struggle to find their way home. A volcanic eruption nearby could explain all the fire and destruction, especially if lava is being spread through the surrounding area. There's also the small detail that some paleo nerds might have picked up on. If you zoom in closely, you can spot what appears to be a stegosaurus running away from the flames in the background. It's only visible for a brief moment, but it seems to confirm that the species will indeed be appearing in the movie. The dinosaurs might have entered their home. The trailer makes it increasingly clear that the dinosaurs aren't going to stay outside for long. Early on, Denise is seen standing in front of a door that has fresh claw marks, hinting that some kind of small carnivore has already gotten dangerously close to the house. Later, Greg lights a match and peers out of a bathroom window, only for a massive feathered creature to casually walk past outside. As the threat grows, the family begins boarding up the house and fortifying it against the creatures roaming Oak Street. However, those defenses don't hold for very long. One of the smaller raptor-like predators is shown lunging at the family as they rush back home, while another sequence shows a car being launched straight through the living room window by a much larger dinosaur lurking outside. The danger appears to escalate even further when Brian is seen desperately trying to keep a door shut against an unseen creature, which looks small enough to have already made its way into the house. To top it all off, a presumed Allosaurus is later shown stalking the family as they venture outside, suggesting that, by this point, the Platts are being hunted both inside and outside their home. If there was ever any hope that the house would survive as a safe haven, the trailer seems determined to crush it. Alright guys, that's all for today. The trailers definitely made us excited for the movie to finally hit on August 14th. And I'm sure David Robert Mitchell will connect all the dots to reveal a much larger force at play. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you like this video, don't forget to hit the bell icon. I'll see you in the next one. Have a great day, and as always, stay marvelous.